What's up, Karp ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode in this TCGO series. Today is Monday, and that means it's time for Meta Monday, in which we take a look at a competitive deck from the past or the present in the Pokemon TCG online meta. And today's deck is built around Mega Rayquaza EX. As always, if you want to skip the deck analysis, just click the annotation on the top left of the screen or skip to around the 4 or 5 minute mark, and that will take you straight to the battles. Mega Rayquaza EX has 220 hit points, is a colorless Pokemon and has the Emerald Break attack, which requires 3 colorless energy and does 30 damage times the number of your own benched Pokemon. So with a Skyfield in play, which allows yourself to bench 8 Pokemon instead of 5, you are doing 8 times 30 is 240 damage, enough to knock out basically any Pokemon in the current format except for like Wailord. It also has the Delta Evolution trait, which means that the Mega Rayquaza EX can evolve from the basic Rayquaza EX as soon as you have played it down. You don't have to wait a turn, you can just evolve it, but of course you need some Spirit Links for that if you don't want to pass your turn by evolving. So we run 4 Spirit Links, we run 4 Mega Rayquaza EX, and then we run 4 basic Rayquaza EX. Now this Delta Evolution trait is actually a pretty big deal, because it allows us to set up this Mega Rayquaza EX in our first turn and attack with the Emerald Break in the first turn. Now there's still the question here, we need 3 energy attachments. How do we power up this Emerald Break in one turn in order to be able to attack in our first turn? And for that we run 4 DCE. These DCE already provide 2 of the colorless energy, and then we run 5 psychic energies. Psychic because the only other type of Pokemon except for colorless in this deck is Hoopa, so might as well run the psychic energies. These psychic energies will provide the last energy needed, but as you well know, you can only attach 1 energy per turn. So if we attach the DCE to the Rayquaza, how are we going to get the psychic energy onto it? And the answer to that is with the Mega Turbo. The Mega Turbo allows us to attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to one of your Mega Evolution Pokemon. 4 copies of the Mega Turbo in this deck, meaning that we should be able to at least draw into one to use it to power up the Mega Rayquaza EX. Now, as you read here, it says from the discard pile. That means we will have to get some of these psychic energies in the discard pile, and for that we use battle compressors, 2 copies of those, as well as Ultra Balls. These Ultra Balls allow us to search for our Pokemon, but also require us to discard some cards, so might as well discard some psychic energies with it. And then finally, in order to be able to pull off that turn 1 Emerald Break, we will have to draw through our deck pretty quickly here, pretty fast. This is a speed deck, and that's why we run 4 Shaymin EX for draw support. Whoopsie daisies, I meant to go to this Shaymin here. 4 Shaymins, and then also 2 Hoopa EX with Scoundrel Ring. Hoopa allows us to get 3 EXs from our deck. So say for example we start off with a Spirit Link, Rayquaza Spirit Link in our hand. We can play the Hoopa, then we can search for a Rayquaza EX, a Mega Rayquaza EX, and a Shaymin. We can then play down the Rayquaza, attach the Spirit Link, evolve into the Mega Rayquaza, and play the Shaymin in our on the bench to draw into some more cards. And just like that, we will be speeding through our deck and aiming for that turn 1 setup. There's also a 1/1 line of Swablu and Altaria. This is to counter Mega Rayquaza's weakness with a clear humming. Each of your colorless Pokemon has no weakness, and that's pretty important since Mega Rayquaza is lightning weak, and Mega Manectric as well as Manectric can knock out the Rayquaza EX because of that in 1 hit. So if we face those decks, we will want to get out Altaria on our bench. Also has the Delta Evolution trait, which means you can get it out on your first turn. Only a 1/1 line, because in the TCGO online meta I wasn't running into a lot of Rayquaza decks, or rather Manectric decks, so I went with a 1/1 line instead of a 2/2 line. But if for example you are playing this deck in your local league or something like that, and you know there's going to be a lot of Manectrics there, then you better increase this line from a 1-1 line to a 2-2 line to make sure you can set up that Altaria on your first turn. And that's basically it. That's the strategy from this deck. Draw through your deck with the Shaymin, with the Hoopa, set up that Rayquaza EX in your first turn and aim for the turn 1 Emerald Break. The other cards that will help us to achieve that are Sycamore, 3 copies of that, VS Seeker, 4 copies of it to get our supporters in our hand like the Sycamore, 4 Trainer's Mail for consistency, 1 switch because it is likely that we won't start off with the Rayquaza. We only have 4 of them and we have 4 Shaymin, 1 Swablu and 2 Hoopa, so the odds that we start off with Rayquaza out of those basics is 4 out of, let's see, 4 plus 4 is 8, 9, 4 out of 11, so and that's not the best. That's why we definitely need a switch. We also have an AZ to pick up Shaymin, to pick up a damaged Rayquaza, so we could also use this for switching our Pokemon out into the active spot. 1 Super Rod to get back Rayquazas from our discard pile, as well as maybe a Psychic Energy at some point. And 1 Lysandre for obvious reasons, Lysandering out those easy knockouts, those Shaymins on your opponent's bench. 1 Teammates. This could help us set up another Rayquaza EX when the one in the active spot got knocked out. You could search for a DCE and a Mega Turbo and power up another Rayquaza just like that. And then finally 1 Hex Maniac. This Hex Maniac is mainly useful against, for example, Trevenant with item lock, or Vileplume with item lock, or even Aegislash EX, which blocks damage from Pokemon with special energies. And since we play DCEs, we play special energies, and the Aegislash would block the Emerald Break attack. We could power up the Rayquaza EX with 3 Psychic Energies. That's certainly possible and not too difficult with those Mega Turbos, but might as well play a copy of Hex Maniac as well to increase the odds of being able to go through the Aegislash's ability. And that's it for the deck analysis. I think I've talked long enough for today. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel for more competitive decks, for more silly decks, and for more fun decks. I will see you in the battles. Here we go. I actually went into a tournament. It just started here, so I couldn't show you. But yeah, we are in a tournament. We will be going through, hopefully, 3 rounds in the tournament to win the tournament with the Rayquaza speed deck. So this is the first round, and I think we are facing Night March. I saw Lightning, Psychic, and Colorless type. It's from GR, or our opponent is JR 315. Yeah, I've got no clue how to pronounce that. We start off with a Rayquaza EX and a Spirit Link, so that's definitely good. We have an Ultra Ball to go for the Hoopa, and we'll discard that. Oh, it is a Manectric deck, it's not a Night March deck, so the Psychic typing is maybe a Hoopa EX then, and the Water typing, I think I saw Water typing, is probably Regice, which we will have to deal with very swiftly, because we don't have direct counters to Regice. If Regice is powered up, we cannot deal with it, or we'll have to Lysandre out EXs on my opponent's bench. So we'll go with the Ultra Ball, discard the Psychic Energy and the Sycamore, and we will get a Hoopa, and then with the Hoopa we can get a Mega Rayquaza EX, and also the Swablu. We need the Altaria, because this Manectric can knock out our Rayquaza EXs because of the lightning weakness. So we'll attach the Spirit Link. We'll get a Mega Rayquaza, a Rayquaza, and a Shaymin in our hands. We have 3 more Shaymins, so we should be able to dig through our deck pretty well here. So we'll evolve. We'll put down the Rayquaza. We'll put down the Shaymin. Draw into 4 more cards. We have the Ultra Ball to go for the Swablu. And we get another Ultra Ball, and we even get a Mega Turbo. I'll be definitely going with that. And then I will discard the VS Seeker and the Switch. And get the Swablu going. And we have another Ultra Ball for the Altaria. So luckily the Altaria is not priced. I will go with the Shaymin. Can we get a DCE maybe? That would be fantastic as well. A DCE, there's a DCE. And we have basically everything that we need here. We will go with the Ultra Ball. Discard 2 more Psychic Energies. Then we'll go with the Altaria. And probably pass our turn after that. We are pretty much set to go. We'll go with the Trader's Mail as well. We have a Battle Compressor or a VS Seeker. I'll go with the VS Seeker. With the VS Seeker we can go for a Sycamore. And this will be it. My opponent needs to get something going here. Because this Manectric is definitely in a knockout range. We only need one more Pokemon on our bench. There is an Unknown and Counter Stadium. That's okay. We can get another Stadium with the Sycamore, I'm pretty sure. My opponent needs to do several things here. Needs to find an energy. Needs to... Oh, there is the Regice. Needs to find the Regice indeed. Puts a Float Stone on the Regice. Attaches to the Manectric. Despite knowing that it's definitely in danger of getting knocked out, I would have attached to the Regice if I were my opponent. Start powering that one up. And there is plenty of Pokemon on my opponent's bench here, which we can Lysander out if the Regice gets powered up to take the game here. We'll have to be careful about using too many VS Seekers, because we need them to get back our Lysander. And there are some more Pokemon. How will my opponent put those down? I have no idea. Because he just... Oh, there with the Unknowns. I completely forgot that the Unknowns were on his bench, or that they could be gotten rid of with the farewell letter. Make up some bench space, free up some space for the Manectrics, which come down right now. Manectric here, Manectric there, Manectric everywhere. Look at that, that's pretty amazing. Filled up bench for both of us. And here is an overrun onto probably the Altaria. Oh no, goes for the Rayquaza. If I were my opponents, I would have gone for the Altaria, but who am I? Who am I? So we'll go with the Sycamore. Discards the Mega Rayquaza EX and the Ultra Ball. What we really need here is a Stadium. We don't get a Stadium. That is actually very bad. That is actually really bad. Oh man, that sucks. So we'll attach DCE. Yeah, that sucks big time. And we'll go for the Emerald Break for 150. We run 4 Stadiums and we didn't manage to get one from the Sycamore. That's what I would call bad luck. But we should be able to knock out the Mega Rayquaza if it comes down, which it will. But it shouldn't have come down right now, because this should have been a knockout. Just the Sycamore let us down big time. We don't even have a Lysander in hand either. And there is the energy in the discard pile, which can be put onto the Regice. So my opponent has everything he needs now to get going. We are definitely not in a favorable position at the moment. We are in a comeback position. We need to try and come back. Lysander's out, the Altaria. That's troublesome as well. Very troublesome. Hopefully we can dig up a Super Rod. But doesn't knock it out. Huh. Can we get a switch, or do I have a Battle Compressor? I'll get the Battle Compressor. Then I'll Battle Compress. We don't have the switch in our deck. We only have one energy. I'll Battle Compress the Sycamore. And I'll Battle Compress a Hoopa. We don't even have the Super Rod. So I'll Battle Compress the Hoopa. Maybe not. I don't know. I'll Battle Compress the Sycamore. And then I'll pick up the Altaria. I'm kind of surprised the Mega Manectric didn't come down. I thought my opponent had it in his hand. Must have not had it in his hand. So we'll go with this here. I will go for the knockout onto the Manectric. Kind of a weird turn of events there. I'm not sure what that was about. We get the Super Rod, we get another Mega Rayquaza EX. We don't have any Spirit Links. Maybe we can top deck one. My opponent promotes the Regice. Why would he do that? Oh, we get judged. Excellent. I actually don't mind getting judged here. Our hand was not the best. I don't want to... Oh, here is a Stadium and a Shaymin. Excellent stuff here. That's what I was looking for. That judge really helped us out. There is a Professor's Letter as well. Will we see the Regice being retreated into the Manectric? That's the question. If we do, we will knock out the Manectric for sure. There's no question about it at this moment. We have the Skyfield, we have the Shaymin. Oh, and my opponent retreats into the Hoopa, which means it will be a knockout on the Hoopa, but I actually want to get a Lysander and knock out that maybe the Manectric on my opponent's bench. I think that's what I want to do. The one that is nearly getting powered up. And another Spirit Link on the Manectric. Cool, we get the Lysander here. So we'll attach to the Rayquaza on the bench. We'll counter the Stadium. We'll even use this Battle Compressor and Battle Compress the Hex Maniac. There's no need to see the Hex Maniac at this point. And should we Battle Compress something else? I want to keep some Pokemon in my deck. We do have the Super Rod, so I'll compress the Hoopa actually. I don't really need to see it at this point. I will put down the Rayquaza and draw into a maximum, an optimal Shaymin setup of 6 cards. Which we do not get the Lysander. We do get a VS Seeker. So if I had Battle Compressed the Lysander, could have gotten it with the VS Seeker, but there's already 2 VS Seekers in our discard pile, so I didn't... Well, maybe I should have Battle Compressed it, but... Yeah. Actually should have done that maybe. Kinda regret it now. So but we might still be able to get it with this Shaymin EX. Should we use the Super Rods? No need for the Super Rod. We'll go with the Shaymin EX, draw into 2 more cards and see if we can get the Lysander that way. And there it is indeed, there is a Lysander, so we will Lysander out the Manectric. We managed to dig it up. And we'll go for the knockout on the Manectric for 240 maximum damage. Wow, wow. We are actually taking the game here against a deck that technically has an advantage because of the weakness. And I don't think there's any way my opponent can come back right now. Unless we see another judge. There is Lysander for the Hoopa. That's okay, we have the AZ. We can AZ up the Hoopa EX. And we will go with that. And whatever comes after that will be an easy knockout for us. My opponent is out of cards and sees it, concedes the match. So I think that was a pretty great showcase already of the power of the Mega Rayquaza speed deck. Even against a deck that is one of its weaknesses. 540 damage dealt. We were just too fast, too furious for my opponent to deal with. Mega Rayquaza EX MVP. Let's see if the second round of the stadium is already, of the tournament is about to begin. It doesn't seem like it. One more match is going on between Outside Lime and Nahukris. So when these two have finished their battles, I will be back and we will continue the tournament. I'm back. 10 more seconds to go to the next round. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and oh, there he goes. The one got skipped for some reason. We are facing Outside Lime with a Psychic and a colorless deck. I'm going to guess this is a Trevenant Break deck, which could be problematic for us because we kind of rely on the item cards. As long as we don't see a turn 1 Wally, we are okay. So we'll definitely go first here. avoid that turn 1 Wally if this is indeed a Trevenant break deck. Oh my gosh, we start off with a Shaymin. At least we have a switch in our hands, so we will discard the Psychic Energy and maybe what we top deck, or maybe one of the stadiums. If it is a Trevenant break deck, we should keep some stadiums to counter the dimension values from my opponent. So we'll see soon enough. If this is a Phantom in the active spot, we know it is a Trevenant deck, and no, it is not. It is a Gallade, so I think we have a shot here then. We will discard the Mega Rayquaza for now, and or maybe not. Let's see here. We'll discard the Sky Field and this energy. I will go with a Hoopa. There should be at least one. There it is. We have 3 Mega Rayquazas left in our deck. 1, 2, 3, 4 Rayquazas. 1, 2 Shaymin only. So 1 Shaymin is prized. That is actually not very good. We want to have as many Shaymin as we can in our deck. We'll go with a Shaymin, a Rayquaza, and let's see here, another Rayquaza. Let's go with that. I think that's pretty good. We'll put down the Rayquazas. We will switch into a Rayquaza as well. Get that Shaymin out of the active spots. Then we'll put down the stadium. Put down a Rayquaza and put down the Shaymin for 4 cards. And hopefully we can get... Oh, there is a DCE. That's definitely what we wanted. As well as maybe... Oh, here's a Sycamore. I will be going for the Sycamore for sure. I think that's our best bet right now. Going with that Sycamore. And drawing into 7 more cards, which we do not get. We do not get a Spirit Link. Yeah, this is not the best hand to get from the... Oh man, this is definitely not the best hand. I will discard the Mega Rayquaza and the Sycamore. I will go with a Shaymin maybe. And my opponent says it's not going to go well for him. He's kind of scared, pooping his pants. And I think I'll dig some more, get rid of that stadium and its Skyfield, and we'll get another Rayquaza on the bench. And then we'll shuffle back what we discarded and draw into 6 more cards. There we go. That way we have gone through the most cards that we can so far. And we get the Mega Rayquaza, no Spirit Link again. So we'll Mega Evolve. Next turn we have the Mega Turbo to go with the Mega Rayquaza EX. We do have 1 Psychic Energy in our discard pile, so we should be able to use it if we don't get Lysandered out. Or if the Hoopa EX. There's a Team Flag Grunt. That was pretty big for my opponent. So we need to dig for another DCE. Yeah, that was definitely pretty big. And a counter of the stadium as well. We'll get rid of the Hoopa. Yeah, definitely pretty big here. Pretty big play for my opponents. At least we have that Mega Turbo. And at least we have a VN Seeker for a Sycamore, which should allow us to draw into our deck a little bit more. So here it is. Can we pull off that setup? Definitely have to go with the Sycamore here. It's the only option we have. Discard all of this. We need a DCE, a stadium, and a basic. There's a stadium. No DCE so far. Oh, that's actually pretty bad. That's actually pretty bad. We really needed that DCE. And we don't have any draw support either. I'll Battle Compress. Increase our chances on the DCE. I'll Battle Compress the AZ. I'll Battle Compress a Battle Compressor. And an energy. go with that, and then we'll use the Mega Turbo on the Rayquaza. We know that my opponent has some way of discarding our energies, so I think it's our best bet to try and keep powering up that Mega Rayquaza EX as much as we can, because we will see one energy get discarded for sure here. I think my opponent does not decide to use any other supporter. It's very unfortunate, our draws here. Very, very unfortunate. Our Sycamore has let us down. And another attachment. So our opponent can have us switch our Pokemon here. Which I will switch into the Rayquaza EX, which can attack for 60 with an intensifying burn. And we'll end our turn. So very... this is ridiculous. Like, this is the PTCGO at its worst, these draws. It happens sometimes, but why does it have to happen during a tournament? And even going to see a knockout on the Rayquaza EX. Piercing prizes 50 plus 20 more for each of your remaining prize cards. 6 times 20, that's 120. 120 plus 50 is 170, that's a knockout. There it is. Knockout on the Rayquaza EX. Taking 2 prizes from my opponent. We really need that DCE now. We are... Oh, and there it is. So this is going to be game then. At least we got a little bit of luck. This will be the game. The second round of the tournament. Might as well search my deck for some more Pokemon. Get a Mega Rayquaza out there. You never know what can happen. So we'll go with this. And I will attach the DCE and we'll go for the knockout Emerald Break for 180. So despite those silly draws, we took the second round here pretty easily. Not too much tension going on. There was the tension of drawing into the DCE, but that was basically it. My opponent couldn't get any basics going, which cost him the second round of the tournament. And that means, indeed, we are going to go to the finals here with the Mega Rayquaza speed deck. Finals in the tournament. Can we pull it off? It seems like we'll have to wait again. Sky Tyrix and Pokemon Master LH or H are still battling for that last spot in the finals. So I will be right back. Well, that didn't take very long. I just finished saving the audio from the previous round to my computer, and I looked at the PTCGO again, and it was already counting down to the finals. So here we go, only 5 seconds left, and we will see what kind of opponent we are facing, what kind of deck, and if we can pull off the win. It is a water deck, so I'm going to go on a limb here and out on a limb and say it is a Greninja deck. We even see a Froakie coin, so I think this is an omen of the Greninja deck. If we go second, then we could potentially get the win on the first turn if we can get the Mega Rayquaza set up. That is if we go second here. We have a terrible hand. There's no draw support whatsoever here, and it is not a Greninja deck, it seems like. We see Timpole with a round, so this might be a round deck, which is pretty interesting. So we'll attach that energy and we will hit for a intensifying burn for 10 damage onto that Articuno. Pretty funny. Yeah, this is a bogus start here for us. This is that hand is well, it happens again. Not very good. At least our opponent is not off to the biggest start either. Another Timpole, so this will probably be a round deck. This attack does 10 damage times the number of your Pokemon that have the round attack. My opponent goes for a Find Eyes. And here is an Ultra Ball, so actually might be able to get going here. I will put down this Rayquaza EX. I will discard this Mega Turbo, no need for it at the moment, as well as this Skyfield. Then we'll go for the Hoopa EX. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 Shaymins. We have some Mega Rayquazas. I think we have everything that we need. So we'll put down the stadium, which could potentially help out my opponent. Because of these team poles, he can bench a ton of team poles, but there can only be 4 team poles in one deck. But he might have some other Pokemon with the round attack. So we'll go with a Rayquaza, a Shaymin, and another Rayquaza EX. Why not fill up our bench as much as we can, so we can get the knockouts on that Articuno. We already have enough Pokemon on our bench to do so, but we still need the Mega Rayquaza, because right now we are doing 100 with the Dragon Pulse, which is not enough. Here are the Spirit Links. There is a Battle Compressor as well. I will Battle Compress a AZ, a Sycamore, and a Lysander. Yep, that seems pretty good here. AZ, Sycamore, and Lysander. We have a VS Seeker with access to the AZ and the Sycamore. And there is the Mega Rayquaza, so this will be a knockout on the poor Articuno. And I think that's it for now. We'll leave it at this. We'll go for the Emerald Break for that knockout for 180 damage. Putting my opponent in a very tough spot. We are simply facing a Timpole here. I'm not sure what that's going to do at the moment, or how that is going to deal with a 220 hit points Mega Rayquaza EX. But I might get surprised here. I have to stay on the tip of my toes and be alert. We don't want to get some explosive damage all of a sudden out of nowhere. Although I'm not sure how that would come to happen. So yeah, 10 damage times the number of your Pokemon that have the round attack. My opponent would need 110 of those. No, wait, 11 Pokemon with the round attack. And there is a Regice EX. We will Lysander out the Regice EX if we can, which I don't think we can, because the Regice EX is a problem for us. If it gets powered up, that's for sure a problem. Here's a DCE. Yeah, it is definitely a problem if that Regice gets powered up. I'm not liking the side of the Regice. And our VS Seekers are gone here. They are gone. We need a VS Seeker as soon as possible before that Regice can attack us. There's the second energy. It needs one more energy, and that would be sufficient to stop damage done to that Pokemon by Pokemon EX. And there is a Team Fly Grunt as well. So our opponent might decide to discard that DCE. This could become very bad very quickly for us. We get hit for 10 damage with the Get Loud. Do we top deck a VS Seeker? We top deck a VS Seeker. Look at that. This is going to be GG for my opponent. This is going to be GG. That top deck, that was very, very clutch, that top deck. I don't think you could have gotten any more clutch than that. We did have 4 in our deck, granted we did have 4, but top decking one of these 4 out of 31 cards, that takes a little bit of luck. As expected, the Team Flare Grunt came down, but we will just attach the TCE that we still had in our hand and probably take the game if we don't see another basic come down. We will probably take the game and win the tournament this way with the speed Rayquaza. We outspeeded my opponent once again here. And yes, this is it. This is GG. I will tell my opponent GG. This is the end of the game. 150 damage onto the Timpole. And a tournament win it is. Victorious. Victory. We are victorious. And we get 10 coins, 10 tokens for the victory, as well as we should be able to get some packs. We'll look at that in a moment. We dealt 640 damage against 20 from my opponent. Biggest attack 180, and Mega Rayquaza EX MVP as it should be. Let's see your tournament winner for a Phantom Forces pack, and then 2 Breakpoint packs and a golden trophy. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Speed Rayquaza takes the win. Yeah, that clutch top deck, that Lysander, I think that was huge for us. Otherwise, we might have been in trouble if my opponent didn't bench any other Pokemon. We definitely might have been in trouble. But we took the win here. That's all that matters right now. I hope you enjoyed this little tournament. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to my channel for more competitive decks, for more silly decks, and for more fun deck ideas. I hope you have a Karp-tastic day. And as always, I will see you next time.
Karp, 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 Karp.